A high-level Turning Point USA insider claims the organisation was infiltrated by CIA-linked operatives during Charlie Kirk's final years. The same network connected to overseas orphanages and child trafficking fronts. According to the source, Charlie uncovered the operation and realised his own wife was part of it. She allegedly planned to bring those same connections onto the Turning Point USA payroll. Charlie's response was short and prophetic. "Over my dead body." Now, here we are. The insider warns those same operations are preparing to move home. Not to Europe, not to the Middle East, but right here to the United States. And while public outrage has forced a temporary pause, it proves something we've been saying all along. The dam is cracking. The truth about what really happened to those children is starting to pour out. And what's coming next will change everything you thought you knew. Today's video is brought to you by VP.net, the only VPN I trust to protect my privacy from the deep state. VP.net is built to block deep state actors from spying on you. Their military-grade hardware is impenetrable. Using their service also helps to keep my show on the air. Please visit vp.net/TPV to find out more. Charlie's final months at Turning Point USA were a volcano of activity. Meetings behind closed doors, phone calls that never made it to the logs, and one discovery after another that shook him to his core. He started uncovering the shady backstories of several high-ranking figures inside the organisation, including his own wife. And here's where it gets impossible to ignore. What are the odds that more than one of them were traced back to the same network? Israeli-linked orphanages operating in war zones and near NATO bases. Coincidence or coordination?
Also, another person who wrote us was telling me the story about Tyler Boyer's involvement in like Maricopa County politics in general. Like, what did he do before in Arizona? And yeah, it's just the kind of stories he said. He approached him several times about embezzlement. You know, Tyler was hooking up with young interns, young male interns, or young male workers, and he didn't even care. He's like, I would go on record because all of this happened, and I had the proof that all of this happened, and everybody knows about Tyler Boyer at Turning Point USA. It's like an absurdity. But this is the person that is putting people into places of power at Turning Point USA. Like he's just involved.
According to insider sources, Tyler Bauer has long-standing ties to a Ukrainian orphanage linked to child trafficking, a facility that operated for nearly a decade before the Russian invasion. And then there's Erica Kirk. Her connections reach deep into the military-industrial complex, the deep state, and through her family, all the way to Israel. Her father worked on the Iron Dome project and later advised private companies on how to partner with intelligence agencies. Her mother, exposed in a leaked investigation, was caught sending sensitive American data to Israel. But that's just the surface. Despite the mainstream media telling you there's nothing to see here, I'm here to tell you the evidence is actually all there. This is from a Romanian newspaper, translated to English. And it reads that a former translator from the NATO base in Romania officially alleged that a real brothel operating there with minors brought in from the outside. It links to official government files that reveal that yes, official complaints were made about the alleged child brothel at the time. The document states that Anna Maria discovered that in this unit, underage children were brought in to satisfy the desires of some of the soldiers, especially the commander of the Black Sea Area Support Base, a man named Otto Buscher. Remember that name. Here's where it gets really dark. In a promotional video for Romanian Angels posted by Erica Kirk at the time, she publicly thanked Otto Buscher for everything he had done for her non-profit that was set up to help young children and orphans, which was located inside that same base.
I believe that we all have angels in our lives, and these are my little angels from Antonio Placement Center in Constanța, Romania.
So the person Erica Kirk was working with in 2011 and 2012 was officially accused of child sex trafficking. If you're wondering why you haven't heard of this, well, there's something called the US-Romania Defense Cooperation Agreement, signed in 2005, where crimes committed by US forces on Romanian bases fall under US jurisdiction. So everything was swept under the rug. Otto Buscher retired, and Erica Kirk's Romanian Angels was shut down, and Erica kept a low profile, until she was introduced to Charlie Kirk in Israel. Now, Erica is in full control of Turning Point USA, an organisation more powerful and more profitable than ever since Charlie's death. And operatives with links to child trafficking hotspots, especially Ukraine, are taking over the organisation.
And something that was interesting is also how many Russian speakers there are. I was telling you, like UVU, there's just a lot of Russians and people who study Soviet studies. Even the president of UVU majored in Soviet studies. Tyler Boyer majored in Soviet studies. He's a fluent Russian speaker. He spent years. And I'm going to assume when I say they speak Russian, that they're probably more tied to Ukraine, like kind of coming full circle on that, because a lot of times people wrongly assume that people who speak Russian are Russian. And actually, Ukrainians, until they made it a law, they had to stop speaking Russian quite recently, were Russian speakers, right? Because it's Russia and it's their home. So it's interesting to consider that there are a lot of, I think even Mikey McCoy's wife might be Ukrainian. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But that's something that I think is interesting as well. Or could be interesting. It might not be interesting, but definitely on the Tyler Boyer front, it's very interesting. He was involved with orphanages in the Ukraine, posted about helping Russian-speaking orphans or whatever it is years ago. Like I'm talking like 10 years ago. I just don't like it. I don't like it. The vibes don't feel right.
According to insiders at Turning Point USA, this is an intelligence front organisation for the largest child trafficking operation in America. We've got the inside information right after this important word from our sponsor. I was doing some research online the other day and stumbled on a video from Chuck Norris. Yeah, the Chuck Norris. The guy is 85, but says he feels 50 and still kicking ass. I was skeptical at first, but once I watched the video, I realised the secrets he's spilling are ridiculously simple and completely hidden from the public. It shocked me. He's dodging 3 toxic foods the system shoves down our throats. Stuff that wrecks our bodies as we age. Big Pharma really doesn't want you to hear about this. I tried it myself, and I'm feeling sharp already. Chuck Norris is giving the information away for free in a no bullshit video. Visit chuckdefense.com/TPV, links below. That's chuckdefense.com/TPV. Watch it now, or stay suckered by their lies. According to a Turning Point USA insider who worked directly under Erica Kirk, the Mormon infiltration inside the organisation was no accident. The CIA has long recruited from the Mormon population, more than any other group in America, and there's a reason for that. Mormons are trained from birth to obey authority, to follow structure, and to trust leadership without question. That makes them perfect for covert work, for carrying out black ops that most people would stop and question. The kind of operations that would make a normal person ask, wait, are we the bad guys? But to them, it's all for a higher purpose. No guilt, no hesitation, just mission, faith, and obedience, no matter the cost. When you factor in the fact that Mormons are the most pro-Zionist movement in all of America, the pieces of the puzzle start coming together.
You ever notice how sometimes a tragedy feels too perfect? Like the timing, the aftermath, all of it just lines up a little too clean? That's what it felt like for us when Charlie was shot. Middle of the day, cameras rolling, whole world watching, and just like that, the future president of the United States of America silenced forever. Everybody cried on camera, sure, the fireworks, the tributes, the prayers, but behind the scenes, in the executive offices, you could feel the relief. Because within a week, everything exploded. Donations, attention, influence, sky high. Donors that were ghosting us started calling again. The people who were distancing themselves, suddenly they wanted meetings. Charlie was worth more dead than alive. And now, Turning Point USA is more powerful than it's ever been. And the person running it? Yeah, I'm talking about Erica, the one everybody treats like some kind of evangelical Joan of Arc. I used to work under her, and she's not who she pretends to be. Charlie figured that out near the end. I think that's why he's gone. See, before she came into the picture, he wanted to take us in a new direction, away from the whole Christian Zionist thing. He started saying it out loud, that America's movement needed to stand on its own, that we couldn't just keep doing PR for another country. And that's when everything started changing around him. People he trusted started keeping him out of meetings. His calendar got lost more than once. And then he started digging. He told a few of us, quietly, that he'd found stuff about her past. Not rumors, documents. back when she was working with some orphanage in Romania, a place that suddenly shut down not long before Israeli handlers introduced her to him. Turns out it wasn't an orphanage, it was something way darker, connected to Israel. Kids moved around like they were, I don't even want to say it. He found out the same people were planning on setting up new orphanages with Turning Point money here in the US under her direction. He said, and I'll never forget this, "Over my dead body." Now here we are. What people still don't know is that she's cruel. Like, weirdly cruel. She'd forget his birthday on purpose. She'd laugh about it. Their wedding anniversary? She'd forget that too, even though her whole damn wedding was paid for by Turning Point. One time, in front of staff, she told him, "You know, honey, if anything ever happens to you, things might finally run smooth around here for once." And she smiled when she said it. Not nervous, not joking, like she was already the boss. And here's the other part nobody talks about. The staffing. Almost everyone in senior management? Mormon. It's not random. The CIA's been recruiting from that pool forever. You know why? Because they're good at compartmentalizing. They can hold two worlds in their head, faith and function, and never let the wires cross. Perfect spooks. Perfect operators. Now, with her at the top, it's all locked down, the money's flowing, Israel is satisfied. And Charlie? He's just a ghost in the machine. They've rewritten who he was already. They talk about his legacy like he's some concept, not a person who got assassinated in broad daylight. And the sickest part, it's playing out exactly how she used to say it would. He's gone, and she's running the show over his dead body, exactly like she promised.
The Mossad has warned that Americans who criticize Israel online are fair game. Now, Netanyahu isn't hiding it anymore. He's declared war on Americans in the digital space. Israel are in the vanguard of the elite's endgame. Digital ID, central databases, and total surveillance. All monitored and controlled from above. We have to fight back. Here's how. First, understand the battlefield. The war isn't being fought with bombs or tanks. It's being fought with data. Your movements, your conversations, your finances, your passwords, your identity. Hoovered up and stored in databanks. Run by people who've declared war on you. And here's what they don't want you to know. The most popular VPNs in the world, ExpressVPN, CyberGhost, and private internet access, have been bought out by Cape Technologies, an Israeli company closely linked to Mossad. Cape's roots trace back to Crossrider, a malware distributor notorious for hijacking people's devices. And its staff? Packed with Israeli former intelligence agents. We're talking about veterans of Unit 8200, Israel's NSA on steroids, and the Dovdadin Unit, Israel's undercover death squad. These are the people you're paying to protect your privacy. It's not just a sick joke, it's a punchline, and they're laughing at you. If you're paying for a legacy VPN, cancel your subscription right now. Because in 2025, trust is not enough anymore. But a breakthrough has arrived. One that changes everything. Just like blockchain revolutionized finance by cutting out the middlemen, cryptographic networking is about to do the same for online privacy and wipe out the corrupt and infiltrated VPN industry. VP.net was created in 2025, built from the ground up to be verifiable, transparent, and unstoppable. Legacy VPNs say trust us not to log, trust us not to monitor you. VP.net says, don't trust us, verify. Unlike legacy VPNs, every connection is protected by a mathematically verifiable cryptographic shield. So no third party, not even VP.net itself, can see or log your data. So if the government comes knocking, and trust me they will, VP.net has nothing to hand over. No logs, no user data, nothing. Even if somebody put a gun to their head, they'd walk away empty-handed. Head over to vp.net/TPV and see for yourself. VP.net is superior tech. It's fast, it's unhackable, and for our viewers, it's just $5 a month. A small price to stay protected on the new digital battlefield. Protect yourself today. Join the movement at vp.net/TPV and shut Big Brother's eyes for good. And here's the best part. Your membership doesn't just protect you, it helps to fund the world's first open source independently audited privacy network, powered by the people, not corporations. Join the movement at vp.net/TPV. Don't trust, verify.